welcome the newest member of the Razorback men's basketball team to Fayetteville. Please welcome 7'2" from Croatia, Vladimir Ivic. Let's join Big C and show him how we call those calls.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studio. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bensenville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
So that was Big Z's introduction to the Razorback faithful this weekend in Bogle Park. Cal was there too. I know some of you got to see him. Some of you saw the video. And I know that's exciting to see that you've got at least one guy. Well, you got another guy on this roster. Karter Knox commits to the Arkansas basketball program yesterday, was in Fayetteville. And evidently, he saw what he needed to see to commit to John Calipari and, more importantly, commit to you and this basketball program in Bud Walton Arena. We welcome you into a bandwagon Tuesday. I know people are jumping on the bandwagon that Cal's going to get some talented players in here, and deservedly so. We've got plenty to talk about when it comes to Karter Knox, maybe some other guys that he gets here on the roster. But I do want to kind of do a 180 real quick, or 360 as Derek and Zach like to mess with me in the afternoons. I know 180, we're going to turn around. I want to go to what happened in baseball yesterday. This wasn't late at night. This actually happened early on in the day. Aaron Boone's ejection. Now, he has been ejected 34 times since 2018. That's the most of any skipper, any manager in the big leagues. And a good chunk of those have been warranted. But this one was not yesterday. There was a fan in the background that uttered some words to the home plate umpire, Hunter Wendelstedt. And I think he was under the impression that I was a Yankees player, and that's why he ejected Aaron Boone. But if you missed the altercation, first off, you got to watch the video. But I'm going to play it for you because this yesterday in the Bronx was just nuts.
Oh, you know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We got a very clear, there you go. And now Aaron's saying, I didn't say anything. Aaron's saying, hold on a second, I didn't say a word. Hunter Wendelstedt with some aggressive rabbit ears, one batter into this game. And Aaron Boone obviously frustrated because he's saying, you gave me the warning. I didn't say anything. You heard somebody else. You're kicking me out. I'm telling you it wasn't me, and you're saying I don't care.
Yeah, Aaron Boone has been thrown out of plenty of Major League Baseball games, and, probably rightfully so for what he has done in this instance.
No, not even close. He's gone. He's ejected. I think it was Ryan Rucco on the call, and they're just as puzzled as I was watching that highlight. And I know certain umpires are sensitive. Certain refs have really thick skin, and some of the stuff that's said to them, I don't know how they don't fight back. I will give them credit. I know that Tommy's not here to defend umpire officials, and sometimes they do deserve defending, but in this case, there is no way that you can defend what happened. If you haven't watched the video, you got to watch it. It is wild to see this ejection. And Boone's just sitting there like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't care who said it. You're gone is not the best explanation that you could have, or the best pushback that you can have as a major league umpire. I know that he and their union got a lot of pushback yesterday, and based on watching that, seems pretty deserved in this case. So that's where we get going here. We'll transition from the Karter Knox stuff. We've got some NBA to discuss. There's plenty of games that happened yesterday. 3 total. Anytime the Yankees lose, which they did yesterday, lost 2-0. Boone gets ejected. I guess the second batter in. The New York Yankees lose. And LeBron James loses on a game winner. It's always a good day. The Lakers lose to the Denver Nuggets 101-99. They go down 2-0 in their series. Cleveland Cavaliers win 96-86. Hey, Orlando, play Anthony Black. You're 0-2 in this series. Start playing the young rook. Might help you out a little bit. The New York Knicks beat the Philadelphia 76ers. Hey, Philly, play Ricky Council. Might help out a little bit. They lose 104-101. They're now down 0-2 in the series. So the home teams continue to have success. I think they're now 11-0 in the playoffs right now. Home versus away. So pretty special start for the home teams, not just in the NBA, but the NHL had some success off the jump. I just, when I watch these NBA playoffs, I'm not just drawn to the Arkansas players now. I'm watching the Kentucky players like Jamal Murray, who hit a game winner last night to beat the Lakers.
LeBron, no! Porter's got it. Nuggets, 12 seconds remaining. They're not going to call timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Murray's got to go. Murray lets it fly. Oh.
So again, I'm also taking solace in the fact that shot helped put LeBron James in a 2-0 hole. I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, but it's weird to have this feeling and this sense of like positivity when I'm watching these Kentucky players have success because they're Cal guys and they don blue and white in college. And yet, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's and Cason Wallace is different to me because I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. And I like those guys when they started to have success, or when they were drafted, and they were Thunder because they went from being the team I hated to the team I now liked. Cason's a big part of why this team is number 1 in the West. But now it's weird. It's a weird sensation. It's a weird feeling. And I know that a good chunk of you don't feel that way. You still hate Kentucky players. And listen, I get that. I've just kind of transitioned for that because I think that watching, this is just my opinion, maybe you have a different one, but I think that watching Kentucky players have success that played under Cal, now the ones that are 15 plus years ago that didn't play under Cal, screw them, who cares? But the ones that played under Cal, I think that helps you. I think that just helps bolster the idea that, hey, this guy is a big reason why this guy is having success in the NBA. And again, a lot of these players have had such positive things to say about John Calipari. It puts you in the limelight and the spotlight. I don't know what admissions are going to be like for the University of Arkansas this next semester, this next fall semester, summer and intersession stuff, but I would guess their increase. I would guess, kind of like we talked about with young men in high school and college that are entertaining the idea of where they're going to go play college basketball, that had never thought of Fayetteville. When John Calipari got to campus, it was all of a sudden put in their head that, hey, this might be a good destination. I think that the same could be said about just any student out there. I think that the notoriety, I think that the attention, and I think the other stuff has at least put in the minds of some that did not consider Arkansas whatsoever. It's like, I go to school here. It could be fun. The Nick Saban effect. It applies in basketball too. All right, so as you heard, we got a lot to discuss this morning here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. And if you need a place to stay this weekend, we also got baseball. They're in North Little Rock today to take on UAPB, but they're in Fayetteville this weekend to take on Jack Caglione and the Florida Gators. If you still need a place to stay, the Inn at the Mill is where you need to go. It's at the Johnson exit off I-49. It's a perfect setting in Northwest Arkansas. You give them a call at 479-443-1800 or visit inatthemill.com. That's inatthemill.com. You're going to get that great breakfast. You're going to get that great accommodation and the great customer service. One more time, here's the phone number, 479-443-1800 or online at inatthemill.com. Bandwagon Tuesday. Stay with us the next 3 hours.
The Cal era is here.
Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get 1.9% financing for 60 months on remaining 2023 Buick Envisions. Or choose up to $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision, it's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The adventure starts at Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
We all know those tackle places we find along streams and rivers that we just have to stop in and check out their lures. Kind of off the beaten path and probably a little rustic. Well, we have that same kind of place right here in the heart of Fort Smith. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been serving up all the supplies and equipment you could ever think of and more. The Tackle Box, 3001 0 Street, Fort Smith.
The adventure starts at Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Hey, I'm Hagen Smith. As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. Sign up now for Pascal's Planned Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Join the March Mayhem and catch every game at 810 Billiards and Bowling in Fort Smith. Open 7 days a week with daily specials. Enjoy bowling on one of their 14 lanes. Play pool on one of their 13 tables. Sit at the deluxe bar and indulge on gourmet food while the kids play at the fun arcade. Let the madness begin at 810 Billiards and Bowling, 5609 Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith. Come for the food, but stay for the fun.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I love Tyler Bill. He just needs a little bit more education. But I love him.
The pitch is hit in the air to left field deep. Back is Woodcox. Woodcox got turned around, and it doesn't matter. It's out of here. Nolan Souza goes opposite field on 0-2.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Couple texts in here on the McLarty Dana Hotline to our first segment as we are getting going here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. JT in Hot Springs said Aaron Bleepin Boone deserves it. Again, he has been ejected 34 times since 2018. That's the most of any manager in the MLB. So, yes, there's probably some priors that maybe would lead umps to a quicker trigger. Sure seemed like that was the case yesterday. Smack Daddy chiming in on the NBA talk saying, hey, LeBron, you're up by 20 points. Stop blaming the refs and learn to play defense the whole game. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's invested. This Lakers thing, they've got one championship in 6 years. I think most fans would deem that a failure. I think LeBron would deem that a failure. It's going to end, and he's going to be elsewhere, I think, next season. All right, so we'll talk some basketball, not just NBA, but Karter Knox, again, committing to the Arkansas Razorbacks, was in Fayetteville yesterday. Before we do that, you need a place to watch the game this weekend. Let me tell you about Joe's Grill and Cantina. You're always going to get the great service. Friday's a great day at Joe's. Fajita Friday. Steak and chicken, and it's always good. Comes with all the extras, all the fixins, and Saturdays, endless enchiladas. Again, all the beef, all the chicken you can eat. Endless enchiladas at Joe's Grill and Cantina every single Saturday. You're going to get great Tex-Mex, great marks, great chips and salsa, and great service at 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith. So let's play the anthem, shall we?
You know, well, I'm a chicken fried and cold beer on a Friday night.
Karter Knox calls himself
fit just
the
right.
Chicken Man.
And the radio.
And it's kind of apropos, right? The Chicken Man coming to a chicken campus. Thanks to John Tyson with John Calipari and this supposed NIL fund that he's helping out with. This is it's pretty nuts, right? You're about to have a hurricane of players commit to Arkansas. I know people have gotten a little jumpy, a little apprehensive, a little like, hey, why hasn't this happened yet? What are commits happening? Well, it seems to be on its way. Karter Knox hopefully is the first, and there will be many more. Now, I've said that name a few times this morning. You're like, who the heck is Karter Knox? Karter Knox is a 4 or 5-star high school player, depending on what service you follow. Karter is the younger brother of Kevin Knox, who played for John Calipari at Kentucky, was once a New York Knick. I don't know where he's playing NBA now. Karter was a McDonald's All-American, and he was highly coveted. I know Kentucky fans are really disappointed that he's not going to wind up in blue and white. Instead, he's going to wind up in Razorback red. Saying, I love chicken. So, hey, the Chicken Man is coming to town. What can I say? I know people are excited to see. I think those comments were in Whole Hog Sports, if I remember that right. There's a good piece with Richard Davenport. If you haven't read it, Richard's going to be with us tomorrow. We're going to talk with Kevin McPherson, who's going to join us in about 10 minutes with Pig Trail Nation to give us an update on just what happened with Karter Knox yesterday, what's happening with, let's say, Jonas Adu for Tennessee, and some other players that you are in the running for this basketball season and this recruiting cycle, which the portal closes a week from today. But again, I think some people are under the impression that you have to have a roster set by then. That's just the underclassmen, their time that they can enter the portal. You can still exit as an upperclassman, as a graduate. I say not upperclassman, a graduate. You can enter and exit at any time, but that is the time frame of when you can actually enter the transfer portal. So he is the second addition for John Calipari and this Arkansas basketball team. And I know there's a hope that this will just snowball and continue. Kind of like, you remember in Indiana Jones, I think it was the first one, where he takes the precious rock or whatever, and then that bowling ball starts coming out, bowling ball, but the big, huge stone, that rock, and he's having to escape from it. You're hoping that that is the snowball effect, or when you throw a snowball down a hill here in Arkansas when it's snowing and it just keeps building and building and building. That's what Cal is trying to build, and it's had success building elsewhere. And there's no reason to believe he cannot do it in Fayetteville, Arkansas. What I found interesting in this process is comments like these. And again, I found this in Richard's column. I like the campus at Arkansas. The facility was crazy. It was my first time being in there. It was just mind-blowing. I didn't know it was that nice. Listen to that again. I didn't know it was that nice. The arena is nice. The practice facility is nice. Everything is just perfect. It is amazing to me in 2024 that people still don't know what we have here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I'm not just talking about Bud Walton Arena. I'm not just talking about the Eddie Sutton practice facility. I'm talking about campus and what Arkansas is. As students that have toured there, or you may have gotten there, it is a special place. Or when you come up to games in the fall, or you come to basketball games or the baseball games, there is something significant. And the reason I'm amazed still in 2024 is, even with all the technology, with all the social media, there's still kids, not just basketball, baseball, football players, young men and young women across the country that are surprised by what we have in Fayetteville, but even prospective students. And one of the things that I was just kind of kicking around in my head last night is I don't think this hire is just going to be beneficial for your basketball program and athletics department. I think it's going to be beneficial for admissions. I think now, while it's not going to have the same impact as a great football coach and one that you know is going to win 9 or 10 games every year, that is probably one of the biggest impacts. Look at Alabama's enrollment pre-Nick Saban versus post-Nick Saban and the kids that they recruit. But I think John Calipari will have an impact on admissions here in Arkansas. Now, what you care about, it's like I'm happy as an alum that they're growing to school potentially, but what you care about is how they grow this basketball program. You still have 11 roster spots total scholarship-wise to fill, and I guess technically one more walk-up spot too with Lawson Blake. And you want transfers, you want high-caliber 4 and 5 stars, and I think you're going to get them. This is a wait-and-see process, as the transfer portal is, but based on who you were able to get in these first 2 commits, it sure seems like that John Calipari is going to build up a really, really great recruiting class here in Fayetteville, Arkansas for your basketball program. All right, Kevin McPherson's going to give us a more of an inside look of what's going on the McLarty Daniel Hotline coming up. But before we get to Kevin, I want to tell you about our friends at APAC Arcola. Now, Tommy's brother Teddy has worked there, I think it's 20-something years. I think it's what he's always said. And if you want to work with the better craft, I mind you, then you need to apply today at jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. They have job openings in the Boone, Marion, and Baxter County areas. And if you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or if you have any paving or concrete labor experience, you can apply today. One more time, jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer. Kevin McPherson when we return on the Morning Rush.
First off, thank you guys. Y'all get me going to work every morning, so I appreciate what you guys do.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
It's 2024. Let's go see what's new at the Golf Nut. Peen G430 Max 10K driver. Peen's straightest and most forgiving driver. TaylorMade QI 10 Max woods and irons with 10K inertia, making it the most forgiving driver ever. And Cleveland Launcher XL2 woods and irons. Call Matt Brooks for a lesson, 646-4430. And start a new year with more confidence on the course. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where it's spring cleaning time. The lot is blooming with fresh road-ready certified inventory and weekly specials that could save you up to $4,000. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, trade today and save up to $4,000 during spring cleaning at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
was that?
What in the world is happening here this morning?
Here's the pitch. Swing and a high drive right field by Souza. This one's a winner potentially. Harrelson from right field underneath it. Caught. Here's Sprague-Lott coming home. The throw. Hogs win it. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. 9-8.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
All right, so we're going to talk to Kevin McPherson coming up shortly on the McLarty Daniel Hotline as we're talking Arkansas basketball, our championship under construction. Really appreciate Lindbergh Real Estate Group and Maverick Male Medical being a part of our coverage. Lindbergh Real Estate Group serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to lindberghteam.com. And by Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, and love better. Visit maverickmalemedical.com. Kevin now joins us here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, one of my guys. Kevin, Karter Knox in Fayetteville yesterday. Here, commits to Arkansas basketball. You got the inside scoop. Tell our audience maybe what went down the last couple days with Karter Knox and John Calipari in this basketball program.
Well, I think when we started to see the momentum moving toward Calipari was really going to happen at Arkansas, you started to see players actually decommit. Karter Knox was one of them. That happened in that same week that Calipari was announced. And so what we heard in that, sort of surrounding that introductory press conference is, hey, 5 to 8 names are going to be in play here pretty quick. And so, what does that mean? Quickness is relative, right? And so when you got through that first weekend, I thought a lot of us thought maybe we'd see some of this. Specifically to Karter Knox, it seemed pretty clear to me that would be the first of those McDonald's All-Americans, the first of that highly vaunted, that vaunted signing class from the high school ranks, which is Calipari's forte, by the way. We went from Eric Melsman, who was the portal prince, to, the greatest recruiter of all time, who's done it mostly with getting those high-level five-star high school players. But Karter Knox was thought to be the one who was in play, maybe more so than any. And so it plays out that way. I think it happened a little later than folks would have wanted or thought, but who cares? I mean, it's happened, and the truth is we're still not even 2 weeks away from that press conference.
How big of a hire was Kenny Payne? That was one of the guys, along with Coach Calipari, that Knox cited in his official commitment announcement. What kind of impact are we going to see, not just with recruiting, but big men this season and for seasons to come?
Yeah, I think you touched on it. It's all of the above. Recruiting, he's a big man coach. He's, you can really, to me, wipe away the Louisville experiment with him. That was a head coach situation that didn't go right. That's not to say that he wouldn't have another opportunity somewhere else. It wouldn't be okay. But the opportunity now is to be the associate head coach, reunite with John Calipari. Those two have had a lot of success, and we know it's been a few years since they had the kind of postseason success, but they continue to bring in high-level players. They develop guys, get them to the NBA. I mean, you can't look at the NBA when you're talking about in the MVP race. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander played for these guys at Kentucky. Anthony Davis, a perennial All-Pro, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, you could go down the list of great players. Tyrese Maxey at Philadelphia. I mean, backcourt, front court, but I think Kenny Payne brings credibility not only to recruiting, but a guy that can get your front court right. And at Arkansas, over the years, it has been a guard-dominant program with some very good big men at times. I think we're going to see maybe the big man recruiting even better consistently than we've ever seen it at Arkansas. I think looking into my crystal ball, that's what I forecast.
We're talking with Kevin McPherson, Pig Trail Nation, here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. One of those big men being Bobby Portis. And Kevin, you having roots in Central Arkansas, you've gotten to watch this young man grow, develop at Little Rock Hall, then as an Arkansas Razorback, and now blossoming into what I hope is the sixth man of the year in the NBA. What has impressed you the most about Bobby Portis?
I think, they talk about him being an energy guy. That's one thing, but he is productive. He can score. If you look around the NBA, big men are more and more playing facing the basket. He's got a true three-level scoring set. He can take you down low. and work you right around the basket, put backs on offensive rebounds. He's got a nice mid-range game, and then he can knock down threes. Another strong season for him shooting from three, and then he's a plus rebounder. He is a strong rebounder. When he leaves the game, he's going to be he's going to have more rebounds than any former Razorbacks ever had playing at the NBA level. I think he's been the best six man spanning the last 4 seasons. He's yet to be able to thread the needle on getting that award. Last year, he was one of the 3 finalists. That's the case again. And he's going up against an fellow Arkansan Malik Monk who played for Calipari at Kentucky. So right now, you get 2 players from Arkansas out of the 3 finalists for that award, and I'm really hopeful that Bobby pulls it in. Corliss Williams did the same. He was the last former Razorback to win the 6th Man of the Year award. And ended up winning an NBA title with the Detroit Pistons, and we know Bobby's already helped Milwaukee to an NBA title just a few seasons ago.
As I watched these playoffs, I knew this was probably going to happen, but I was hoping Anthony Black and Ricky Council would get some time. They're just not factoring in the rotation yet. We know Bobby's impact with Giannis out, how much he's having. Patrick Beverly had a good game one, but Daniel Gafford didn't have his best game, but what have you thought about some of the other Razorbacks that are either playing in these NBA playoffs or at least on rosters, like Jordan Walsh and guys that might not get to play but are still on these teams?
Well, it's interesting because Arkansas really, when you got outside of Kentucky and Duke, Arkansas was one of those next tier programs. When you started looking at players in the NBA, Arkansas's got a dozen or more. When you count Mason Jones getting on a 2-way deal and actually seeing the court for the Sacramento Kings this year. So you mentioned Ricky Council just earned himself a 4-year deal, effectively a rookie deal he would have gotten had he been drafted in the 2nd round. He was an undrafted free agent, got a 2-way deal, and proved himself an opportunity. Jordan Walsh, early 2nd round. Nick Smith Jr., 1st rounder. You mentioned Anthony Black, lottery pick. You've got Hogs in the playoffs. Oklahoma City Thunder with the 1 seed in the Western Conference. Both Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe having box score plus impact in a 2-point win in the first game at home against the Pelicans just a couple of days ago. So you've got Razorbacks all over the place, and now you've got John Calipari, the king of putting players in the NBA, at Arkansas. This thing may just snowball. But even right now, it shows how good Arkansas's program is. When you go back to Eddie Sutton, Nolan Richardson, and most recently Eric Melsman, no slight to John Calipari, but this is a proud, storied program, and there's already some groundwork done in terms of getting guys to the next level, and I think he's only going to exponentially make it snowball. That's, to me, where his biggest value is as a coach, is bringing in future pros, and then you think when you get that many quality players in, that you're going to help win some games and advance in the NCAA tournament.
Kevin, I wonder if you could give us an update on Caleb Battle. I know he posted a video of just to highlight him in a Razorback uniform. Some people read into that. Some people have thought other things. Has there been any indication of what he's going to do? And on the flip side, do the new Arkansas coaching staff, is there interest from them on possibly wanting him back?
Yeah, those are questions that I don't have answers for right now. I'm used to having answers, but with a new coaching staff and the way that they operate, I'm still learning that. But it's been very interesting how quiet things have been on his, because you see all the portal activity, and you wonder what's going on there, and it could be one of those situations, Ty, where it's NIL money, and he's honoring whatever whenever the contract expires, and honoring his representation there. I think that's something to maybe keep an eye on, and then we might see some movement with him in terms of Calipari's interest or mutual interest there. I don't have any indicators either way on that situation.
So speaking of keeping an eye on a Duthiero listed Arkansas in his top 5, he didn't have the best stats for Kentucky last year. Seems more like a glue guy, but 6'8", high motor, energy, defense. What are the odds you think he winds up in Fayetteville, Kev?
Well, he's also looking at pro options. I'd say also keep an eye on not just him, but Jordan Burks, and I don't know if you're going to bring his name up next, but another 6'8" guy, was a freshman last year, went through that overtime elite program similar to Karter Knox. But he's not only got in the portal late last week, but I had a really good source telling me he was in Fayetteville and had dinner with Calipari. He and his family did. And so that may be one of the names we see come off the board pretty soon. Thero certainly could be. You didn't get a lot of numbers last year from that freshman, Jordan Burks, at 6'8", small forward wing, combo forward on a smaller ball lineup. Only played 20 games, about 7 minutes, but his efficiency was good. He had a breakout game against Vanderbilt, 13 points, 5 rebounds on the road in a blowout win for Kentucky. But he's another name to keep an eye on out of that Kentucky portal. We know Big Z was the first name off the board out of Kentucky's transfer portal. So I think we're going to see a kind of cobbling together of a class here from Kentucky's portal, maybe a name or two from Arkansas's. I don't really have any insight in that right now. And then obviously the traditional portal recruiting. But then again, look at the high schools. That's where I think we've seen the first big domino there on a McDonald's All-American. I think we're going to see more.
And I wonder, as he comes from Lexington to Fayetteville, by the way, we're talking with Kevin McPherson, Big Trail Nation, McLarty Daniel Hotline, does he change his philosophy? Because it didn't work in the postseason the last 5 years. Didn't in the regular season, just in the postseason. How do you think his mentality, if at all, changes with this first class that he gets to Fayetteville?
That is a great question, because I don't know that a guy like him, he's bringing, by the way, I think most of his staff. Orlando Antigua's gone back to Brad Underwood in Illinois, but someone was not going to be in play once you brought Kenny Payne in. And I think Kenny Payne was the right play based on the working relationship and the success. So I see a lot of continuity so far, Ty, in what he's doing. And so, but the actual philosophical approach on the court, the only thing that forces coaches to change is they have to use the portal now. It's a reality. They can't just live on one and dones. Not many programs could do it. Calipari was a coach that could, and he did it at Memphis before he, started to get that trend kind of there before moving over to Kentucky. And so I think he's forced to interject some more veteran, college proven, experienced guys. That's obvious. But X's and O's, all that, I don't know that we're going to see any philosophical changes there.
Kevin, last thing before we let you go, and I know you're busy, so I appreciate you making. Actually, I got two more for you. One more person I want to ask you about. Jonas Adu, Tennessee transfer, and I guess I want to parlay that with the Oklahoma State kid. Is it Brandon Powell? Is that his name? Whose name I'm
Brandon Garrison.
Brandon Garrison. Thank you.
Yep.
Those two guys, I know there's been reports out there of mutual interest, and you reported on Jonas Adu. What are the possibilities that you could add to your front court with one of those two players moving forward?
Well, to me, either one of those players help you immensely because they've got experience. Adu's second team All-SEC last year, came into Bud Walton Arena and just picked apart that front line, 23 and 12. But a guy that playing about 27 minutes a game for that SEC champion Tennessee team last year, between 11 and 12 points, over 7 rebounds, nearly 2 blocks. I mean, a guy not even playing 30 minutes a game. He's efficient, over 51% from the field. So Jonas Adu immediately brings all SEC credentials to your front line. And he's a guy that is a game changer because he plays both ends really hard and is effective. And I think Brandon Garrison, to a lesser extent, still brings a lot. Of 2023 McDonald's All-American, a regular starter last year as a freshman at Oklahoma State. His numbers were good. His efficiency was good, and he's got all the tools for a John Calipari and a Kenny Payne, when you look at their track record with big men, to maybe be that next guy that you can develop.
Now, I just, again, brought up those two guys as possible transfers, so it kind of ties into our next question. As we let you go with this, the Division I Council ruled in favor yesterday of unlimited transfers as long as they have good academic standing at their former school. Kevin, I think this is, you look at football, not that it doesn't have an impact in baseball and basketball, it's huge, but what is your opinion? Is this good for young men and young women and good for college sports moving forward? In my opinion, it's not. What's your opinion?
Well, in a model where now you're paying players, and you're seeing all these astronomical figures, who knows how much of it's true, for certain players to get them to portal. Based on that model, I think that's probably how it needs to work. We've basically turned it into a pro game now, effectively. The game itself is not the same. The players are not on the level of NBA players, but the free agency part of it, the money part of it, all that's in play now. And so right or wrong, it absolutely changes it. It's going to be hard for some programs to maintain any consistency with quality of product on the floor. So I think there's pros and cons to it. I'm not all in on one viewpoint on it, but I will say this, Ty, whatever UConn's doing, whatever Danny Hurley's doing, that needs to be the blueprint. But with this new ruling, I think even UConn may have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. So that's a scary thought, because there's a program that's doing it right the last 2 years, and so now we'll see even how that's impacted that group.
Kevin, we'll leave it there, man. We appreciate the stuff this morning, and I would guess that your job has ramped up these last couple days and will continue as the transfer portal heats up for Arkansas basketball. Thanks, brother.
Good to be with you, Ty. Great to be with you. Thank you.
Not just good, great to be with us.
Yeah, I had to fix that
one. Thanks, brother.
All right, man. Thank you.
That's Kevin McPherson. Again, Pig Trail Nation. Good stuff. Follow him on X at AR Hoop Scoop. So I think he said some interesting things there, and I want to get into more of it as we continue on here in the Morning Rush. It is a Bandwagon Tuesday. I think for me, I'm not all the way there yet, right? And I think that's fair for me to have some reservations because of what's happened the last 5 years in postseason. I know the Milwaukee Bucks were chastised for putting out a video saying all the regular season games don't matter. It's just about postseason now. It's about what they do in Milwaukee. I don't know their arena, but and they were ripped for that. But let's be honest. We're Arkansas basketball. We don't really care about the regular season. We care about postseason. And I want to see how John Calipari goes about things differently in Fayetteville in terms of postseason than regular season. And again, how he maybe tweaks, I'm not saying completely overhauls, but tweaks his recruiting philosophy. Because if you just try and play in today's age of college basketball, even with five-star freshmen like we saw with Dillingham, Wagner, Shepard, and others, you will lose. It will not work. And it hasn't worked in Lexington the last 5 years, and it won't work in Fayetteville in the next 5 years without, again, a couple of not necessarily overhauls, but little tweaks here and there. All right, it's that time of the morning here on a Tuesday. It's CJ's Trivia Tuesday.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
It's delicious.
There must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
All right, so the NFL Draft is this week, and I know people are excited to see the likes of Dwight McLaughlin, Bo Limmer, Cam Little, and others potentially being drafted, not necessarily Thursday, but this weekend to their favorite NFL team. I hope Nudy's going to be a Green Bay Packer. I like Dwight. I really liked what he did on the field for Arkansas the past couple of years. Even as a former LSU Tiger, I was like, I don't know about this guy, but happy he came to Fayetteville and would love to see Landon Jackson in a Packers uniform in a year from now. With that being said, you think about some of the Razorback players that have been drafted over the years, and if you want to win this $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers gift card, you have to answer this question. Now, Darren McFadden and Dan Hampton were not the highest players drafted for Arkansas football in the history of their program. They were high up. Those two awards, now, I don't know how many of you would have guessed, Lamar McCann to the Chicago Cardinals and Kay Eden to apparently the Pittsburgh Pirates, which was a football team back in the day. I think it was in the 50s and 40s. So I'm going to ask you about two more players that are more in y'all's wheelhouse of, like, you can remember them. It's Dan Hampton and Darren McFadden. Coincidentally, Darren McFadden and Dan Hampton to the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Bears were drafted in the same draft slot. First round, what pick, though? What pick were Darren McFadden and Dan Hampton drafted in? Call or text McLarty Daniel Hotline 877-377-6963. Again, one more time. 877-377-6963. What draft selection were they picked in their drafts for the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Bears? And speaking of the Chicago Bears, I've seen some comments from Caleb Williams this week and past couple weeks. Again, I told you all this earlier. If I'm the Bears, I'm going Jaden Daniels. I watched what he did against the best conference in football. If LSU had any shred of a defense, he would have won a national championship. Instead, they had the worst defense in 20 years, and Jaden Williams could still put up 400, 500 yards and find himself in the losing column after the game. Had two great wide receivers in Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors, which were, that 1-2 punch was some of the best that we saw in the SEC. A&M had a good one, as did Ole Miss, who always seems to have some good wide receivers. But that is what you dealt with in the Southeastern Conference. And again, he was prolific. He was awesome. I don't want the antics. I don't want the extracurriculars with Caleb Williams. I just want a football player. And I think Jaden Daniels is a football player. And if I was the Chicago Bears organization, I think it's Ryan Forbes is their name, I'd go Jaden Daniels each and every time. Again, McLarty Daniel Hotline open, 877-377-6963. All right, guys, who we got? Jack. All right, Jack has called in to answer our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question. Jack, what is the answer? What draft slot were both Dan Hampton and Darren McFadden drafted in?
That's pick number 4.
That is correct. Pick number 4 for both Dan Hampton and Darren McFadden. Jack, we will send you, make sure we get your mailing address and your information, and we will send you that $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card, okay? All right, again, Jack, congratulations to him for winning our CJ's Trivia Tuesday. Really appreciate everyone listening this morning. If you want to listen anytime, anywhere, make sure you download the Hit That Line Now app on Google Play and the Apple Store. I know the baseball team had themselves a weekend in Columbia, South Carolina, and I would guess that on a Sunday off that Peyton Stovall and the guys maybe wanted to fuel up a little bit, and they can do so in Fayetteville at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers location, or during the week. CJ's always a great stop, both locations, Russellville and in Fayetteville. Always love seeing Keith and his team in Fayetteville and Keith Sally and his team in Russellville. Always love chatting baseball with him. Keith's a former baseball player, loves Arkansas baseball, ride or die with the football, basketball, and baseball. There's no bigger Razorback fan than Keith Wilson out there, and there's no better burger maker out there than Keith Wilson. And the best fries, the best shakes around. I love the fry sauce. If I could drink that stuff, I would do it. So make sure you stop in and see him at both locations. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best, and they are at CJ's. All right, a lot to get to in hour number 2. Aaron Boone ejected for what a fan said, which was pretty crazy. We'll come back to the Karter Knox commitment in just a little bit, and also continuing on your calls and texts here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. This Friday, we're going to get back into our Fenceman Friday picks, and it's always fun to see Sean in here, talking all things football, basketball, baseball. Do a lot of baseball picks this weekend, and Sean does a great job with the Fenceman. 479-782-3936 if you need something residential, if you need something commercial, whether it's wood vinyl fencing, wood privacy fence, and again, anything you need for your house or your business, Sean can help out. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman, he ain't afraid of no work. Hour number 2 is next. Bandwagon Tuesday.
Roll into the season at WT Equipment. Get ready to roll with strong savings on hay tools, compact and mid-range tractors, and even our large commercial-grade hay equipment. Find out and save $5,000, $10,000, or more in cash back. Or get 0% financing for up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and up to 72 months on compacts. Hurry, offer ends June 30th for commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Kraft for the Fenceman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
On Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., NAFI and local law enforcement will host DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day at locations across the region. Take-Back Day offers free and anonymous disposal of unneeded medications at close to 5,000 local drop-off locations nationwide. Join us at Harrison City Hall, Boone County Sheriff Department, Mountain Home Police Department, or Tractor Supply in Mountain Home. For more information, contact Kyle Evett at 870-391-3367.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Engagement season is in full swing, and Diamond Center wants to be part of your story. For the entire month of April, we're offering 5 years of 0% interest on purchases. That's right, 5 years, 60 months, 0 interest financing. There has never been a better time to pick out the perfect engagement ring and pop the question. Let Diamond Center help you begin this next step of your journey together with 5 years of 0 interest financing for the entire month of April on all custom design and in-stock pieces of jewelry. Diamond Center, a legacy of love.
Need a new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100. Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock Roofing and Construction. As one of America's largest roofing companies, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. We can do your job right now. And because we paid less for our material, we can share those savings with you. Call today or visit us at shamrockroofer.com.
810 Billiards and Bowling is fun with an upscale attitude. Join us on Tuesdays for college night. Enjoy entrees starting at just $8.10 and bowling and billiards for only $15. Wednesday is trivia night starting at 6:30 and Thursday is karaoke from 7 to 11. Come on in for Arkansas baseball and enjoy $2 drafts on select beers. 810 Billiards and Bowling has the perfect venue located at 5609 Rogers Avenue across from Randall Ford. 810 Billiards and Bowling.
Looking for a change? For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus and a $3,000 referral bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Ask a friend who works at Simmons for more information, and you can both win. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith City Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
Husbands, sons, daughters, honor your wife or mother for Mother's Day at the inaugural Mystery at the Fort Legacy Ball, benefiting Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center on May 11th at the U.S. Marshals Museum. Buy your tickets today for this 1940s mystery dinner, coupled with an exciting night of investigative entertainment and lively dancing with the band Who Shot JR. For more information, call 479-452-2260.
Are you ready for some football? Well, the 2024 Brandon Burlsworth football camps will be here soon. Learn the game of football from Razorback greats at these half-day camps that are open to students aged 7 to 15 years old. Camp dates are May 31st at FS Garrison Stadium in Harrison and June 1st at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Early registration is just $45. And remember, enrollment is limited. So register today at brandonburlsworth.org.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see sunshine with a few isolated showers to storms. Our high temperatures this afternoon, mid to upper 70s. Isolated showers, a few thunderstorms with us tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 50s north, upper 50s south, and then scattered rain and thunder possible Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Welcome the newest member of the Razorback men's basketball team to Fayetteville. Yeah. Let's please welcome 7'2" forward from Croatia, Vladimir Ivic. And let's join Big Z and show him how we call those calls.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Hey, it's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. Game went late into the night last night. Baltimore Orioles were playing. Heston Kjerstad got called up yesterday, and James McCann hit himself a nice bomb. First of the season.
McCann down the left field line. That ball is crushed. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. James McCann inside the pole. That's his first home run of the season, and that puts the Orioles on the board at the Big A.
Game started 8:38 last night as the Baltimore Orioles, Drew Barrett's former employee here, favorite team, beat the Los Angeles Angels 4-2, 15-7 now on the season. You got 2 Razorbacks. Just heard James McCann highlight, and Heston Kjerstad was just killing it in the minors. Listen to this stat, y'all. 10 home runs, 30 RBIs in 21 games. Gets called back to the major leagues. Good to see Heston's name mentioned there. Also good to see Karter Knox mentioned yesterday. Karter Knox, the latest commit. You heard Big Z being introduced to the Razorback faithful this weekend in Bogle Park. Karter Knox, now the newest addition to this John Calipari class. You got 11 roster spots left, and I guess 1 walk-on spot in addition to Lawson Blake, of who is going to be on this roster next year. So you got that news. And also, Aaron Boone got tossed, which we'll get into coming up here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. As a Yankees hater, I'm on the bandwagon of watching the Yankee skipper get ejected. I'm also on the bandwagon of our friends, Chris and Lee J at Wheels RV, the best RV dealer in Northwest Arkansas. They always have the grand design and Forest River products. It's the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. They give you that lifetime warranty every time so you can camp with confidence on new RVs. Stop in, see why Chris, Lee J, and their team have been voted the best RV dealer in Arkansas year after year. 5 miles west off exit 72 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. So we will talk some basketball and some more SEC baseball with Bruce Stanton coming up in just a bit, and Karter Knox getting added to the Razorback fold. But Aaron Boone ejected yesterday, and he got asked about it. For those that haven't watched the video, it's pretty much listen to the replay call here after his ejection. And mind you, it was a fan that said something. The umpire sure sounds like thought it was coming from the Yankees dugout, and yet ejects Boone anyway.
So the fan in the blue shirt is the one who says something to Hunter Wendelstedt. That's what he reacts to, and he kicks out Aaron Boone, who says, "Whoa, I didn't say anything." And Brad Osmus is pointing, saying, "It's a fan, it's a fan." And Hunter Wendelstedt, as we heard so cleanly on our audio, said, "I don't care."
I don't care? What do you mean you don't care? You're not going to eject a manager if you don't care. Listen, I'm not a Yankees apologist. That is probably my least favorite team, the most hateable team in all of sports. They buy their way to championships. They don't earn them. They buy them. But even I have the wherewithal to distinguish a fan saying something and tossing a manager out from Aaron Boone, albeit Aaron Boone has a reputation, as Scott brings up here on our video stream. Boone's reputation got him thrown out. He's done so much that it's easy to understand why Hunter Wendelstedt threw him out. And there is some truth to that. But you don't throw a guy out for something a fan said. You just don't do that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I will say this. I'm not married, but I know that some of you have gotten the brunt of your wife or your girlfriend's wrath based on something your son or daughter did, or just like it's not you. You have gotten the pushback. You have gotten the just the wrath of your significant other by something that not you did, but someone close to you did. Maybe it was a friend. Maybe it was just another family member. I think we've all been there to a certain degree, right? Like you get the repercussions, you get the pushback, you get the damage, and yet you aren't the one that has done anything to begin with. That sure seems like what happened to Aaron Boone in this case. Andy in Mountain Home says that ump has had rabbit ears for 40 years. I didn't know he's been an ump in the majors for 40 years, but evidently that's the thing. JT in Hot Springs saying Yankees fans showing their class. Boone is responsible for their fans. I don't remember if JT is a Red Sox fan or who that is, but definitely getting some text and some feedback here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline in reference to Aaron Boone. I remember my dad getting technicals when I was in elementary school. I think he got 3 or 4 of them. He got tossed out of one game because he went toe-to-toe with the ref. My dad, he was a passionate guy, right? He's a passionate father. He's a passionate husband, and he was a passionate coach when I was in elementary school. And from time to time, his passion brought him too far. But I do remember those days discussing the situation with my father as an elementary kid, watching him go ballistic on a referee or kick the bench or something. It wasn't as egregious as some of the other things that I've seen during the course of a professional basketball, baseball, football, but it was quite funny as an elementary kid. Yes, JT responds, he is a Red Sox fan, as Justin in Springdale is this morning. All right, so back to the basketball news. Karter Knox commits to the University of Arkansas. I was in Fayetteville yesterday, had some really positive things to say. The Chicken Man. And here's the view I have with John Calipari right now. It's kind of Benjamin Martin Patriot-esque. Just follow me for a sec. I know this is going to make some sense for some of you, and others it's going to be a wild goose chase, but just follow me for a sec. So in the movie The Patriot, Mel Gibson plays Benjamin Martin, who was once a high-ranking officer and under the Redcoats command, the British at the time. But then changes allegiances to Patriots, to the rebels of sorts, and they bought in under him. And it's crazy to see how quickly Arkansas fans have bought in under John Calipari. For example, I have found myself not just cheering for Arkansas players in the NBA, but former Kentucky players, not just Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Cason Wallace, 2 former Kentucky Wildcats that are playing for my favorite team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. But when Jamal Murray hit this shot last night.
Porter's got it. Nuggets, 12 seconds remaining. They're not going to call timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Murray's got to go. Murray lets it fly. Oh.
It helped that LeBron James was on the other side, but I'm all of a sudden cheering for Kentucky players because I think that helps Cal's situation here. I think it doesn't diminish, and we know it doesn't diminish it, but I think it only helps the possibility of getting high-caliber recruits like Karter Knox into Bud Walton Arena. All right, so that's where we get going in hour number 2. Boone's ejection, Karter Knox committing, and some other baseball and basketball and football news coming up, including Snack Johnson reportedly entering the transfer portal. Hey, for over a century, your friends and neighbors at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas have helped you farm or ranch-wise and running through the good times and the tough ones. They make sure that you can get through it. Visit myaglender.com or drop by any of our 25 locations. That's myaglender.com for Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Morning Rush Daily Question next.
Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the Morning Rush.
810 Billiards and Bowling is fun with an upscale attitude. Join us on Tuesdays for college night. Enjoy entree starting at just $8.10 and bowling and billiards for only $15. Wednesday is trivia night starting at 6:30 and Thursday is karaoke from 7 to 11. Come on in for Arkansas baseball and enjoy $2 drafts on select beers. 810 Billiards and Bowling has the perfect venue located at 5609 Rogers Avenue across from Randall Ford. 810 Billiards and Bowling.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a GMC Sierra Crew Cab at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Choose from 2.7 or 5.3-liter Sierra Crew Cabs this month and get 2.9% for 72. Or get up to $6,500 in factory rebates on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Solve your roofing problems with Freedom Roofing and sleep soundly beneath a sturdy roof tonight. Locally owned, licensed, and insured, Freedom Roofing is a dependable company that will help you with the insurance claim process. Residential or commercial, they'll be there step by step. Call Keith Holt, 479-597-6777, or Rick Carlisle, 479-651-3247 today on all roofing services and break free from your aging roof. Good luck, Peyton Holt and Hog Baseball from Freedom Roofing.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Hi, this is Melissa, owner of True Grit Running Company. Now that the weather has cooled down, it is the perfect time to get a jump start on those New Year's resolutions. We'll help you start your running journey off right with shoes handpicked just for you, based on how you run. Follow us on Facebook to learn more about our group runs for people of all paces, where we can give you advice and support on your running journey. Let us help you find your True Grit fit at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
I just can't get enough of this Aaron Boone ejection yesterday. Aaron Boone, Yankees manager, 34 times he's been ejected since 2018, the most of any manager during that time. And after the ejection from Hunter Wendelstedt, here is what Boone said on the ejection.
Hard to. I really didn't even go after Hunter. I was more upset that, on the appeal, and I said, Hunter, you can call it too. And he came back at me pretty hard, to which I didn't respond. I just said, okay, went down, and it's embarrassing. It really is it's embarrassing. Just, not good.
Not good. Not good at all. Do you think he's in favor of the robotic strike zone? That's our Morning Rush Daily Question. Did yesterday, or a lead up or a build up of some of this stuff, did that cause you to again decide, hey, I want to do the robotic strike zone now? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe you don't care about the Yankees. Listen, I'll hate on the Yankees 24 hours a day, all day long. And it's always fun, too. There are not many Yankees fans that listen to this program. Anytime that something bad happens to their manager, one of their players, not injury or anything, but something like yesterday, I'm not talking about something severe, you take pride in that. But have you started to come around on the idea of a robotic strike zone? We all know what happened with Arkansas baseball and Perry Costello back in the day. How do you think that game may have changed if he wasn't the ump? It was just robotics. Is that something you're trending towards now? I'm still not there. And based on what I hear from our buddy Phil Elson, he's still not there either. And listen, there's a lot of baseball opinions I respect out there, and I'm lucky to work with two of the best in Chuck Barrett and Phil Elson. And so anytime there's a baseball subject brought up, I really pay attention to what those two guys have to say. And I haven't heard any of them indicate that they would lean to that direction. Maybe I misheard. Maybe they've changed their tune. But I sure saw some Yankees fans yesterday saying they would be favor in a robotic strike zone. That sure seems like that is something that they are in favor of. Now, I'm still not. But that was kind of funny. Other baseball news, we mentioned this earlier. Heston Kjerstad pulled up to the majors. Congratulations to Heston. That is a big deal. I know that he was playing a little AAA ball, and now he's being brought up. Still not in favor of the robotic strike zone, but, it's good. Derek from Fayetteville says, I'm not, because sometimes it favors us having the human error element. I don't know if he's talking about Arkansas or his favorite major league team, but yes, that is a point. Every once in a while, your team does get the benefit of a call that goes your way when it should have been a strike or a ball. situation. All right, that is your Morning Rush daily question. Are you now in favor, not just because of the Boone situation, are you trending towards maybe your team got robbed in some situations, maybe the ump didn't favor your team? It could be Arkansas baseball. It could be professional baseball. Sometimes that just happens. And that is your Morning Rush daily question, brought to you by our friends at Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com. So I got a text from Bruce Stanton earlier this morning. There's a chance he's in Broken Bow fishing, so there's a chance that he does not have the best cell service. So we will, if he calls back, we'll try to get on. We are going to get into our SEC Pradco Pyramid of Power rankings. He sent those to me this morning. He always goes in depth on them. Do want to remind everyone, Arkansas baseball back in action tonight. Not in Bob Walker Stadium, but you are in the state of Arkansas. 6 o'clock on SEC Network Plus. Yes, Plus, even in North Little Rock. Ben Bybee on the mound for the Arkansas Razorbacks. I kind of got shelled the last time he pitched. We'll see if he bounces back. Not the same caliber of competition that he played against Texas Tech as he'll play against the Golden Lions this starting today. And it's just a one-game series. Think about this. You got Missouri State in a 2-game series next week, and that's it for your midweeks. Your midweeks are done after that. So it's important that Arkansas, I say it's important. You just rather not an RPI blemish on your record. You're 9-0 in these midweek games to this point. You'd like to be 12-0 by not just seasons in, but by midweekend, by the middle of next week. So while Arkansas baseball is back in action tonight, other baseball teams in action. Let's do it. It is our Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Who are the best baseball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
So Bruce is fishing, Tommy's golfing. So I guess I'll do this morning, even though I'd much rather be doing one of those activities. All right, let's start with number one. Who's the top dog? Bruce has the Arkansas Razorbacks. They win at South Carolina. Pretty big statement. Pitching staff is dominant. Florida comes in this weekend, has a losing record in the Southeastern Conference, but Jack Caglione's the story. How does Hagen Smith? And I heard Phil talking about this yesterday. It's going to be quite a matchup watching Hagen and Jack go against each other, unless there's rain on Friday night. These are 2 top 10 draft picks and 2 guys that college baseball scouts are salivating over getting a chance to watch to face off one another. So that's Friday, and then we'll see what happens the rest of the weekend. But Arkansas expected to win that series being at home. So they're at 1. He's got Texas A&M at number 2. They won their series at Alabama. Arkansas didn't do it. Tennessee couldn't do it. And A&M hosts Georgia this weekend. And what's that kid's name? Chip Condleson. One guy over there is hitting like 400 something. If I remember that right, it was insane. Like Hagen Smith, as good as he's been this season, there's an Oregon State player. I mentioned Jack Caglione, and then I think it's Chip Condleson that is the outstanding Georgia hitter that are having unreal seasons. I mean, Hagen's probably going to end up being number 2 on the all-time strikeouts list at Arkansas, and he's been magnificent this year with the exception of that first game. But he's probably not going to win the Golden Spikes. He won Pitch of the Year, but maybe not the Golden Spikes. Tennessee, Bruce's team checks in at number 3. They won in Lexington this weekend. That was a huge series win for them. First series that Kentucky has lost this season. They're hitting the ball. They're the opposite of Arkansas. They're hitting like 330, 111 home runs. That's unbelievable in the SEC. Might be the unstoppable force versus the unmovable object in Hoover if Arkansas and Tennessee match up, and we get to see Tony Vitello and Dave Van Horn, which is always entertaining. Kentucky drops to number 4. They lost 2 or 3 to Tennessee, like I just mentioned. Let's see how they respond. It's the first time they've met adversity all season long. They go to Columbia, South Carolina, to play the Gamecocks this weekend. South Carolina trying to bounce back after losing a series to Arkansas. Vanderbilt checks in at number 5. They beat Florida. They beat them in 2 or 3. And then Georgia's number 10. Charlie Condon's the kid's name. Thank you. He leads the SEC. I think it's the country, too. Maybe it's just the SEC. He's hitting 483 at 26 home runs. 483. I just walk the guy. I just walk him. They won their series against Ole Miss last weekend, and they head to College Station. So that is the Pradco Pyramid of Power, the Bruce Stanton rankings. Tommy and Bruce will be sparring next week when they come back. And usually, baseball, they've been pretty similar. Basketball, I felt like there were some different rankings. They have a team or two off their tiers and rankings, but it's nowhere near what I felt like basketball was, and even football to a certain degree. So that's the baseball setup. That is your Pradco Pyramid of Power. It's always brought to you by our friends at Pradco Fishing. Yum dingers. You can fish them in the back pockets of the shallow water. The watermelon red and the Elder's Magic are the way to go with the yum dingers. Bruce is probably fishing them with Broken Bow right now. They're always great, and they're always made right here in Arkansas. So whether you're fishing in Broken Bow like Brooke is, or Broken Bow like Bruce is, or anywhere in Arkansas, they are the lure to bring. Whether it's in Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, tackle stores all over the place, you're going to find the Yum Dinger, and you're going to find every other Pradco lure that you need for your fishing expedition in the state of Arkansas right here across. And as you heard, Academy, Bass Pro, and everywhere else. Really appreciate Bruce sending me his rankings, even though he's out working / fishing. I know that he's having a good time today. I bet we get a fish or two pick. Bruce, man, I'll tell you, Bruce catches some big ones, as does Clay Henry. That is a feat and a skill I have not mastered yet. I don't know if I ever will. We're lucky that they are on our programming, because not only do they have a wealth of knowledge in the fishing side of things, but it is cool to see what they come away with on these trips. And I guarantee you, Bruce will share some of that stuff in the coming hours and what he's able to get. All right, that's your Pradco Pyramid of Power here this morning. Jumping back into some of the other topics, we mentioned Aaron Boone. Let's talk again, Karter Knox, and what he is for this Arkansas basketball program as a top 25 commit, as a 4 or 5-star prospect, depending on what recruiting service that you follow. Most of the time, we always just follow the one that has him at the highest. A little background on Karter. His older brother, Kevin, played for Cal at Kentucky. Kevin is now in the G League, I believe. I think Jamie May texted that earlier on the McLarty Daniel hotline. And I got to give Travis Branham, who we had on this show last week, credit. 24/7 Sports. He called a shot, and he was right.
Karter Knox, to me, seems like most likely guarantee of a kid to follow him over to Arkansas from Kentucky. He coached his older brother, Kevin Knox, obviously got Karter committed not long ago back in March to Kentucky, and he was actually the very first to decommit from Kentucky shortly after all the news started breaking that John Calipari would be becoming a Razorback next season. With the Chicken Man thing, he may be referencing covering Karter Knox. He has an obsession with McDonald's McChicken sandwiches, like an obsession. So when he puts Chicken Man in there instead of Burger Boy, when you're a McDonald's All-American, all these kids like to call themselves Burger Boys. Wouldn't be surprised if he called himself a Chicken Man, because when he goes to McDonald's, he's rocking out with a chicken sandwich. I would be shocked if he doesn't end up an Arkansas Razorback. I really would.
He's not going to be shocked, it sounds like. Commits yesterday. And doesn't it just time out perfectly? I mean, Karter Knox saying, I love chicken. So, hey, the Chicken Man is coming into town. What can I say? John Tyson, a big part, the architect, the conduit, as Hunter Yurchek called him, of getting John Calipari to town. Karter Knox committed to Kentucky when Cal was there. Decommits. I think it was, as we were talking with Kevin McPherson in hour number 1, had some great basketball insight. If you missed it, Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, if you want to replay it, told us that Karter was the first Kentucky commit to decommit from the program. But now you have it. Now there's still some guys out there that you want, and we'll see in the coming days if you get. Now, Karter needs some help, y'all. He needs some help on the Woo Pig Suey. He needs some advice out there. So most of us have grown up our entire lives around saying Woo Pig Suey. Friends, family, coworkers. You were either born into the Razorback heritage, or maybe you moved here in Northwest Arkansas And while Arkansas is not your favorite team, you bought in. You bought in on the idea. You bought in on the heritage. You bought in on the pageantry, the tradition. And Big Z did his first hot call in Bogle Park this weekend as we played in our open. Cal was there doing the kind of meet and greet. I don't know if they plan to be in Baum Walker this weekend for the Florida series. Wouldn't be surprised if they were there. But now Karter needs some help. And this is a guy that was originally committed to Big Blue Nation, and now he wants to call the Hogs. So my recommendation is don't do the howl. I know people get frustrated when they hear that howl call, that Arizona State or that Arkansas State. We're not Arkansas State. We're the Arkansas Razorbacks. There's no howl at the beginning. It's just ooh. You start like that. It's that easy. Colton, you got some thoughts as we welcome in one of our new team members. Colton, what are your thoughts on this, that Karter needs help on learning the hot call?
Really the most important thing, I guess the most important question, for everybody is, do you also wiggle your fingers? I've seen some controversy about that as well, whether you do the wiggle of the fingers or you go straight up and down. I am wholly adamant about the fact that there is no howl, too, so I agree with you there.
Okay. But I guess the wiggle. I haven't thought about that. I know the late great Frank Broyles used to say, it's not the start at the sternum, but you got to get it thrusted. It's got to be a full body movement. It can't be half-hearted. You've got to fully invest in the idea of the hog call, and hopefully Carter's able to do that. He also mentioned wanting to bring a championship. Really good conversation that he had with Richard Davenport. Apparently, I was reading that in Whole Hog Sports yesterday. And he wants to bring Arkansas another one. There's only one that's happened here in Fayetteville. You've been to 2. You only came away with 1. He wants to help get you another one to this Arkansas basketball program. All right, our McLarty Daniel hotline is now open at 877-377-6963. That's where Melvin and Sheridan is this morning. Melvin, you've got some thoughts. I want to hear them.
All right, brother. I don't mean to be ugly to you, but you're hypocritical. Everybody buys championships now. Find another reason to hate the Yankees besides buying championships. If you don't believe it, listen to the Razorback updates about money.
Well, it's righteous and moral when we do it here. It's just not when it's done in the Bronx.
I believe that's called hypocritical where I come from, but hey, each his own, my friend. Remind me not to split money with you. It's got to be 2 for you and 1 for me. You know, you can't be that way, my friend.
Are you a Yankee fan, Melvin?
Not at all. Never have been, never will be. But I'm not a fan of all this money going around either. Pay me $1.5 million, I'll go back to college.
So, okay, let me ask you this, Melvin. If this money that you're talking about helps John Calipari and Arkansas win a national championship, will you change your tune?
Will you change yours? We're all buying. All I'm saying is we're all buying championships now.
I just told you it's righteous and it's moral when Arkansas does it. It's just not when the Yankees do it. And there's some sarcasm implied
It wasn't righteous and moral when we used to accuse everybody of buying all their players and we supposedly played the game right. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, but the game has changed, right? In the last 3 years, the game has completely changed.
It's the bad with the biggest billfold, right?
To a certain degree, but Tommy makes a good point with some of the other schools. Now, I don't know what Kentucky and Purdue's. I know Zach Edey, I think, was making slightly under. I think he was making like $800,000 or $900,000, so he was getting some significant NIL money. I would guess that what was happening in Storrs, Connecticut, some of the outstanding players that they had were not exactly just doing it for free. But then you look at some other college basketball teams like NC State and other teams that, again, you wouldn't say, man, they're just making hand over fist NIL money. It's not just that. It's good coaching, good chemistry. There are still parts of what you've always needed to win a championship that are still needed now. Money is just another bigger component that has been added to today's day and age of college football, basketball, and baseball. Would you agree there?
I not really, because I was raised and believed that what the most common phrase used to be is, you know why I like college sports? Because they don't get paid. They're out there for the fun and the love of it. Now it's all about the money, and it's very frustrating. And let me tell you something else. Every kid going to that school ought to draw a check. All our time does get better, too. You know? That education you got from the UAA is becoming worth less and less and less because you didn't get a check with your degree, did you?
I didn't earn it. I wasn't valuable enough. I got some scholarship.
Oh, yeah, you got that right. That's right. You want to really take that way back step? You wasn't valuable enough?
I wasn't. I wasn't valuable
Okay.
enough to the University of Arkansas to be making the type of money that certain young men and young women stepping on campus
maybe
are.
Tommy needs to cut you. Maybe Tommy needs to cut you pay now. You may not be good enough now.
You're probably right,
If that's your attitude, I mean, I don't think that's a good attitude. You're going to downgrade yourself for a ball player. Okay.
I think
I just talk about you talk out of both sides of your mouth. You can't badmouth the Yankees for buying championships when your program's doing the same thing. That's all my point is.
Melvin, appreciate
And you won't lose this argument.
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call, buddy. We can have difference in opinions. The great thing about it's a free country. I can say and do whatever I want. Here's what I will say on that. And to your point about me and college, I was not worth anything to the University of Arkansas until I started earning stuff, which is fine, right? I started to show journalism department, hey, I might be worth some investment down the stretch, and I got in return for that. Now, I will agree to a certain point, like Tommy always brings up, that kids are making more money before they get to campus, but their value, it's like you're having, unfortunately, to pay young men and young women to get to campus before their value is actually like earned, right? And I get there's some issues with that. But Melvin, here's what I'll say about Melvin. Melvin will be celebrating if Arkansas wins the national championship as hard as any of y'all. And I don't think, now I could be wrong, I don't think he's going to be having any reservations about Arkansas paying players if it comes down to winning. Let's say, for example, this baseball program, and I don't have like a solid, like 100% factual, credible information on this, but I think it's fair to assess that Arkansas baseball probably has a top 10, top 5 NIL fund based on how much investment is put in this baseball program. Now, it helps that you have a Hall of Fame coach. It helps that you have outstanding facilities, but yeah, I think there is money there. And I don't hear complaints about the number 2 team in the country and the potential investment with NIL with this baseball team because they're winning, right? I heard all the complaints about Arkansas basketball this past year and football this past year when they lost was NIL. If this baseball team wins a national championship and it is discovered after the fact that Arkansas baseball has one of the highest NIL investments of any baseball program in the country, there's not going to be complaints because you win. Now, Melvin can say that I have a different tune for the Yankees than I do, 100%, because I hate the Yankees and I love the Arkansas Razorbacks, and I'm allowed to have that opinion. And you can too, frankly. Again, I don't think that you're going to find issues with Arkansas football or basketball if they win a lot of games and they're still playing players. Now, Melvin, if you want to do that, it's a free country. You can. But that's stupid, and you shouldn't do that. Hey, it's this morning. We're always brought to you by our friends at Gaston's White River Resort. You can check them out at gastons.com or call Clint and his team at 870-431-5202. Did anyone hear Clay Henry yesterday on Ruskin and Zach? Really, Jack Nicholson used to go to Gaston's. I don't know if he still does, but that's just like one of the famous celebrities out there. There's other country artists that go out there. It is wild. I was intrigued by that conversation as anything Clay said on these airways. Listen, when it comes to knowledge in this state, there's no one that surpasses Clay Henry. And when it comes to fishing in North America, there's nothing that surpasses Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
I'm a hugger.
Through and through?
Yep.
I never get a hug from you. What's that about?
I'm selective with them.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Roll into the season at WT Equipment. Get ready to roll with strong savings on hay tools, compact and mid-range tractors, and even our large commercial-grade hay equipment. Find out and save $5,000, $10,000, or more in cash back. Or get 0% financing for up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and up to 72 months on compacts. Hurry, offer ends June 30th for commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Craft for the Fitzman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Hogs!
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where it's spring cleaning time. The lot is blooming with fresh road-ready certified inventory and weekly specials that could save you up to $4,000. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, trade today and save up to $4,000 during spring cleaning at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. You got the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESP in Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas, located at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and 416 North 10th Street in Fort Smith. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-DOOR or online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Overhead Door voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Precision Overhead Door.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Arkansas baseball back in action tonight, not in Bob Walker Stadium, but in North Little Rock, Dickey Stevens Park. SEC Network plus 6 o'clock. Ben Bybee on the mound. We'll see if he bounces back after the Texas Tech showing that he had a week ago. And little information about this game in Central Arkansas. Gates open at 4. It is cashless if you plan on going to Dickey Stevens Park. So for those listening on ESPN 96.3 or for others that are planning on making the trip in any of our listening areas, hitthatline.com or Hit That Line Now app. Again, it is cashless. Now, you got to pay for, it sounds like cash for parking outside, but inside, I don't know if they have the scanner or whatnot, but at least inside the ballpark, it is cashless. You've done this trip since 2010, with the exception of the COVID years in 2020, 2021. So this is a trip that they make. It's in-state opponent. You're 9-0 in midweek games, and you're 5-0 all-time against UAB. UAPB, we'll see if it's 6-0 after tonight. Staying on the subject of baseball, James McCann. A lot of you were asleep when this happened. Went yard for the Orioles last night in their win over the Angels.
McCann down the left field line. That ball is crushed. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. James McCann inside the pole. That's his first home run of the season, and that puts the Orioles on the board at the Big A.
He's got a new teammate, Heston Kjerstad. Just called up yesterday from the Baltimore Orioles, which is exciting. Heston was dominating the minors. 10 home runs, 30 RBIs. It was a good stat from one of the guys that covers that minor league team. Pretty cool to see that he is back and now has a Razorback teammate alongside him with the Baltimore Orioles. Happy birthday to former Razorback quarterback Joe Ferguson, who was born in 1950 on this day, on April the 23rd. Former Hogs, former Bills quarterback, played for several organizations in the National Football League. 17 years, nearly 28,000 passing yards, 181 touchdowns. And he also had a lot of success at Arkansas, the Arkansas Sports Hall of Honor, Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, Southwest Conference first team, and passed for over 4,400 yards while he was in Arkansas Razorbacks. So again, congratulations to Joe Ferguson on another birthday. Also, congratulations to Stacy Lewis, who is inducted to the College Sports Communicators Academic All-America Hall of Fame, the first Razorback in that class. Not only an outstanding golfer, but apparently outstanding in the academics aside too. Basketball news. Probably heard it. Maybe you haven't. 7:48 here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. I think that most of you have, but Arkansas got another commit. Karter Knox is looking like he's going to be an Arkansas Razorback. Was in Fayetteville yesterday for a visit and announced his commitment to John Calipari and this program. The younger brother of Kevin Knox, who played for Cal at Kentucky, is a G Leaguer, I think, right now. Cal getting one of his players that was originally committed to the Kentucky Wildcats, and now sounds like he's going to be an Arkansas Razorback. Now I want you to listen to his statement, Karter's statement that was online. Throughout my whole recruiting process, Coach Cal said he always wants to make me a pro, and and I will trust that he does that for me at Arkansas. I also have a great relationship with Coach Kenny Payne, so getting to play for two coaches I admire is a dream come true. I'm looking forward to getting there, getting to work, and bringing a winning mentality to Fayetteville. I think a lot of Arkansas fans are excited about him too. This is a 4 or 5-star prospect debate based on what recruiting service you follow. Sounds like he needs some advice on learning how to call the Hogs. I bet he gets it when he'll get to Fayetteville. Jeff Goodman reporting that Jonas Adu is narrowing his teams down to Baylor, Arkansas, North Carolina, and Alabama. The second-team All-SEC performer in the running, apparently, to be an Arkansas Razorback. We'll see if he is added. We had Kevin McPherson on in hour number 1. He talked about Brennan Garrison to the Oklahoma State transfer. Another guy. I really like the Rutgers big man. There's plenty of transfer players right now, and I don't think the portal's done. We have till April the 30th before that thing closes, and graduates can enter at any time and exit too. So something to keep an eye on when discussing the transfer portal. Still haven't heard a whisper, really haven't heard a peep about Caleb Battle. I have no idea what Caleb's going to do. That is a really intriguing part of this upcoming class, is if Caleb elects to exit the portal and return to Arkansas basketball. And if he wants to compete, if he wants to play NBA caliber players every day in practice, and if he wants to be on a team with a coach of a track record of getting guys to the next level, why wouldn't you stay in Fayetteville, Arkansas? I don't know what he's thinking. Money probably has something to do with it. Maybe that's, as Melvin brought up earlier, maybe that's something they're trying to work out behind closed doors. All right, last thing here in your Hog Update. Snacks Johnson is expected to enter the transfer portal, according to Brandon Marcel of 24/7 Sports. Brandon's going to join us, I think, tomorrow at 8 a.m., get some insight from him. He wrote a really good piece on Sam Pittman and this Arkansas football team during the offseason. I want to ask him about that and some other national and SEC storylines. But this seems to be a loss. I think Slaughter, and I'm forgetting his first name, is the Tennessee transfer, but I believe he started over Snacks at nickel. Colton, do you know his name off the top of your head?
Yeah, Donico Slaughter.
Donico Slaughter. Thank you.
Transfer,
yeah, I believe he started over him in the spring game, so maybe it was playing time. Maybe NIL. I know that we always assume that NIL has something to do with it when a player decides to transfer, but, I mean, Snacks, it's not like he wasn't going to play, but that may have had something to do with the possibility. I don't know, because players and coaches don't come out and truthfully tell us what's going on behind the scenes. It would sure solve a lot of our issues in terms of trying to figure out why guys transfer and why guys come in, but it just doesn't happen that way, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. All right, that's your Hog Update. As always, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
All right, so we had some NBA action last night. The Lakers lost again to the Denver Nuggets, 101-99. Had like a 20-point lead and choked it away. Cleveland lost to Orlando, 96-86. Hey, play Anthony Black, Orlando. And the Knicks beat Philly, 104-101. Might be a good idea to play Ricky Council. Neither of those guys played the last two games. The games on tonight are as followed. Suns, 6:30, TNT will take on the Timberwolves. The Pacers will take on the Bucks and Bobby Portis and Patrick Beverly. And then Daniel Gafford and the Mavericks will take on the Los Angeles Clippers. That is your NBA lineup tonight. Plenty of former Pro Hawks in tonight's game. And we're going to get into our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update coming up in just a bit as we continue on here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. Sounds like Karter Knox is jumping on the Razorback basketball bandwagon. Who else is going to jump on this week? Is it going to be Jaden Quaidens? Is it going to be another transfer like DJ Wagner, who was a Kentucky Wildcat last year? Maybe it's Jonas Adu. Maybe it's Brennan Garrison. I know that it's going to be a fun week. Keep an eye on who possibly could wind up here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and playing for John Calipari. All right, so we got our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update, and Tom Murphy's going to join us on the McLarty Daniel Hotline coming up next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get ready to roll this season with huge savings during New Holland's Ready to Roll sales event going on now at WT Equipment. Right now, get 0% financing up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and 72 months on compacts. Or choose cash back and save thousands. Whether you need consistent strength and efficiency for your daily grind or an upgrade for the weekend chores, WT has the machines you need with the deals you want. Subject to credit approval, standard term conditions and restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Craft for the Fitzman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
On Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., NAFI and local law enforcement will host DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day at locations across the region. Take-Back Day offers free and anonymous disposal of unneeded medications at close to 5,000 local drop-off locations nationwide. Join us at Harrison City Hall, Boone County Sheriff Department, Mountain Home Police Department, or Tractor Supply in Mountain Home. For more information, contact Kyle Evett at 870-391-3367.
Ty, that's the $1 million question.
This is the Morning Rush.
Diamond Center is proud to present our inaugural Whiskey and Watches event. Now is your chance to get your hands on that timeless timepiece you've been dreaming of. Between now and Thursday, April 25th, in our Fort Smith store, call or stop by to pre-order your watch. Then join us on Thursday, April 25th for a night of celebration featuring rare whiskeys, cigars, and luxury watches. This is your opportunity to add that watch that you've always had an eye on to your collection. For more information or to pre-order your watch today, give us a call. The Diamond Center, celebrating a legacy of love.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is the reigning champion of my own conference, Robert.
You do realize that's not a thing.
Well, I did receive a plaque commemorating that accomplishment.
Yeah, and I was elected the president of Mars. Anyway, Hog fans, it's that time again.
It's baseball season. And Hog fans, the Stadium Shop has everything you need for Razorback baseball.
From t-shirts, sweatshirts, man cave stuff, and even a Razorback original, the bases loaded beer hats.
Plus, ladies, as well as a restocked women's section, we have the bases loaded beer stein boppers.
Yeah, it's kind of like those old-time space alien antennas, you know.
Yeah, well, not really.
So when you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road, next door to Baum Walker Stadium, or you can shop us on them WW Interweb FaceGram. You get it, Matthew.
Dad, do you mean the website?
Yeah.
Which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
As always,
go Hogs!
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Insurance company throwing you a curveball? Are they crowding the plate and not offering you a fair settlement? If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need an experienced attorney to fight for you. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, no win, no fee. Call Mock Legal Solutions today for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
And first pitch,
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see sunshine with a few isolated showers to storms. Our high temperatures this afternoon, mid to upper 70s. Isolated showers, a few thunderstorms with us tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 50s north, upper 50s south, and then scattered rain and thunder possible Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Welcome the newest member of the Razorback men's basketball team to Fayetteville. Yeah. Let's please welcome 7'2" forward from Croatia, Vladimir Ivic. And let's join Big Z and show him how we call those calls.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studio. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Kristen Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bensenville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It is hour number 3 of the Morning Rush here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. We got our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog update coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about what James McCann did last night. Bobby Portis and Patrick Beverly back in action, and some other Razorback players that have an impact or have had an impact these last couple days or might have an impact later on tonight in the coming days in the NBA playoffs. And you can probably find some good odds, not just on the teams they play for, but also individual player props on the Bet Saracen app. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app, and you like to make a little wager on your favorite sporting event, cell phone, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you can do so on the Bet Saracen app. Whether it's the favorites, the underdogs, whoever you want to bet on, the player props, the over-unders, the game totals, the money line, you can do it all on the Bet Saracen app. It's accurate and it's up to date for all your sports wagering info. And it's easy to download. You hear Neil Atkinson give some great updates each and every Friday at halftime. And you can also, again, go along with the games on your Bet Saracen app. Go to betsaracen.com and be sure to check out a really cool how to play video featuring Jancy Sheets. All right, it's time for your Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update.
This is the Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update.
Giannis over to Bobby in the corner. We'll take it. Oh, Bobby's got it.
Whether you're listing, selling, or leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all your real estate needs. Go to lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
Clacton was the three. Drives instead and hammers it home. Well, that young man's aggressive.
All right. You heard Anthony Black's name there. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to have a chance to hear that in the playoffs. But, Christian, whose names are we going to hear in the NBA playoffs moving forward that played for the Hawks?
Yeah, like you said, we just heard Anthony Black, but he has not been able to make the starting roster or have seen no playtime so far in their playoffs here. Anthony Black, again, a coach's decision, didn't play in Game 1 of the Magic's and Cavaliers series on Saturday. The Magic lost 97-83. And Anthony Black also didn't play last night in their 96-86 loss in Game 2.
Hope to see him. I mean, I really want to see AB. I just don't think he's going to play. I don't think Ricky Council is going to pick up any minutes. Maybe those coaches. I think Nick Nurse is the coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. Off the top of my head, I don't remember Orlando's coach, but hopefully they change their mind. Two young guys, again, both rookies. Sometimes when you're a rookie, you just don't get NBA playoff experience, at least from the jump.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Daniel Gafford, he did get some playing time, and he only put up 3 points in the Mavericks' 109-97 Game 1 loss to the Clippers on Sunday. Gafford and the Mavericks will have a chance to respond tonight in Game 2, and they're going to have to play a lot better. Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams did their part in the Thunder's 94-92 win against the Pelicans on Sunday night. Isaiah had 5 points, Jalen with 6 points in the Game 1 victory.
Yeah, and they're back in action tonight. I know that people are there's a lot of Oklahoma City fans that have jumped on. Sorry, tomorrow night, mind you. They will be on TNT. It's the later game at 8:30 as they try and go 2-0 on the New Orleans Pelicans. It was a lot closer than I think a lot of people anticipated, but some of you made the trek from Northwest Arkansas or from the River Valley. It's not that far of a drive. I know that there's a lot more Oklahoma City fans now because of Jalen, because of Isaiah, and they have been one of the more exciting teams to watch in the NBA this year. It would be cool to see them move on. Not really any Arkansas connections to the Pelicans. Would much rather see that team move on as my favorite team in the NBA.
Bobby Portis had 15 points, 11 rebounds on Sunday for the Bucks in their 109-94 Game 1 win against Indiana. Patrick Beverly had 5 points. Game 2 will be tonight. No Giannis again.
Yeah, Bobby's really stepped up in Giannis Antetokounmpo's absence. Patrick Beverly always fills up the stat sheet. He's a scrappy guy, keeps making plays. Is he the best point guard in the NBA? Absolutely not. He's the most gifted, but he's someone that you want on your team. And Bobby, we were talking earlier with Kevin McPherson, this is, I think, going to be his year that he wins Sixth Man of the Year. The stats really doing, stepping up in a crucial situation with Giannis going out. I think Bobby Portis ultimately walks away with the Sixth Man Award, which the last time you've had one of those was the Big Nasty, Corliss Williamson for the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how many games Giannis is going to miss, but if they're able to win that series without him, that would be pretty impressive. Jordan Walsh did not play for the Celtics on Sunday due to a coach's decision. Boston rolled the Heat 114-94 in Game 1.
He's only going to see mop-up duty, if at all. I don't even know if he gets in the playoffs. Again, a young guy like Ricky, like AB. Nick's team, the Charlotte Hornets, did not make the playoffs this year, so that he would have played, but the other guys just not factoring in the rotation, unfortunately. But, again, it's early. They're 1 year in. We'll see what happens in future years for their organizations.
The New York Knicks took a commanding 2-0 series lead last night against the 76ers with a 104-101 victory. Ricky Council did not play for Philly due to a coach's decision.
Yep, just one of those guys that didn't play. All right, baseball-wise, James McCann. So the two big things in baseball, Heston Kjerstad gets called up by the Orioles, and James McCann does this last night.
Down the left field line. That ball is crushed. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. James McCann inside the pole. That's his first home run of the season, and that puts the Orioles on the board at the Big A.
So he's got a new Razorback teammate, Big C. Who else did something the last couple days that played professionally for Arkansas, or that plays professionally for Arkansas?
Well, Jalen Beeks, the pitcher for the Colorado Rockies, they're not very good this year, but he has a 1-1 win-loss record, a 3 ERA. He's pitched in 9 games this season and has struck out 6 batters. Andrew Benintendi for the Chicago White Sox in 76 at-bats, so he's getting some playing time. He has 12 hits and 2 runs batted in. His average is 158 this season so far. Isaiah Campbell, a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, his win-loss record is 0-1 and has a 12.79 ERA in 7 appearances. In 6 1/3 innings pitched this season, he has recorded 5 strikeouts. Dominic Fletcher for the Chicago White Sox, in 57 plate appearances, has 12 hits, 6 RBIs. That's good for a .211 batting average. James McCann, as you just mentioned and heard there, homered last night for the Orioles. in 34 at bats. He has 9 hits, and his lone home run came last night in their 4-2 win over the Angels. He has 5 RBIs and is batting a pretty solid 265 so far this season. Drew Smyly, a pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, he has a 2-2 win-loss record with a 4.97 ERA. He's pitched 12 2/3 innings with 11 strikeouts. Ryan Stanek, a pitcher for the Seattle Mariners, has a 2.25 ERA, 8 strikeouts in 8 innings pitched in 8 games. And as you mentioned, we've got Heston Kjerstad, who is finally going to get to play for the Orioles.
Yeah, you mentioned Drew Smyly. I know Chuck was talking about him yesterday. He's been really productive for the Cubs organization out of the pen. A lot of Razorback names you just listed, both in baseball and in basketball. Basketball-wise, you're not Duke or Kentucky level in terms of players. You're kind of that second, third tier, though, the amount of players that are in not just the NBA, but in the NBA playoffs. And with Cal, it's probably going to increase. That is your Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update, brought to you by our friends at Lindsay & Associates. They're celebrating their 50th year in the real estate business and are the leading real estate company in Northwest Arkansas. So whether you're listing, selling, or leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all your real estate needs. With over 200 professionally trained agents in 3 locations in Fayetteville, Rogers, and Bentonville, Lindsay & Associates is a winning choice. Go to lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together. All right, let's talk to Tom Murphy.
Now, let's talk to Tom Murphy on the Morning Rush.
The man with the plan. Tom Murphy now joins us. Whole Hog Sports via the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Tom, as always, we love hearing from you on Tuesdays, and we're going to get a chance to talk some football, basketball, and baseball with you. I know you were you like Snacks Johnson. I like Snacks Johnson, but it sounds like he is entering the transfer portal, according to Brandon Marcello. That kind of caught me off guard, man. Did it catch you off guard yesterday?
Well, just a little bit. And, with Snacks, pretty high-strung dude, very emotional. I mean, he's in there in the end zone screaming during practices, if they're on a pass breakup or something. So he's very, very emotional. And the fact is, Danico Slaughter was with the first team at Nickelback for the red-white game, and, Snacks was on the second team. So I guess he got cereal. And, so many things can play into this. Playing time, NIL money, just, what he hears in the locker room or from the coaches. So many things could play into it. But, the portal is such a different world now that if a player, hears something, I might get paid this somewhere else, they can be gone. And so this one hurts because he's certainly a guy with a lot of experience. He started 11 of the 12 games last year. And great insurance if, something happens to Danico Slaughter. So now, your second Nickelback is going to be someone with less experience.
And you mentioned the playing time, because I know that's what a lot of people cited. Do you think that was the main reason, Tom? Was it playing time, or do you think there's something else behind this? Because I know there's always speculation. Is
right.
It playing time the main proponent?
I have not talked to Snack, so I don't know exactly what was going on, but I'm sure it's a lot of factors. Look, he's tweeted out before, I'm a hog and all that kind of stuff. And if you saw on social media, Scooter Harris kind of called him out on that, which led to a little bit of a flap. But it's just the nature of the game now. One thing they hear can set someone off and go, okay, I'll find a greener pasture somewhere else. I don't know what happened in this case, but the days of getting really attached to a player and watching him through his entire career somewhere, that it's going to be a pretty rare deal. I mean, when KJ Jefferson and Rocket Sanders had such huge 22 seasons, and then after 23 they're both gone, that's a pretty good indicator.
Yeah, and Tom, on that, the NCAA ratified a couple of things yesterday, including the unlimited transfer rule. Long term, is that good for college sports?
Man, right now the NCAA and the entire structure of college governance is trying to get across how much they are for the player, because they probably heard a lot of player complaints from what various studies and committees about the coaches can do this, that, and the other, leverage their school, get raises, all that, and I get it. But to answer your question, is it good for the game? No, I don't think it's good for the game. But I also don't think coaches making $11 million a year is good for the game. There's a lot of things, I think, that aren't good for the game that are happening in the game.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything any question about that. Tom, it was funny to hear Kirby Smart's comments a couple weeks ago. So we're talking with Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, McLarty Daniel Hotline. He basically said, it's like, we don't have a reason to complain. Guys are making more money than they ever have. He's talking about the coaches. Assistants are living in, can retire on their salaries. And yet we still see coaches complain about this. Do coaches have a right to complain anymore based on the amount of money that they're making each and every year?
Well, Ty, we are in the United States of America, and everybody has the right to complain. And if you look on social media, everybody is complaining. So, yes, coaches have the right to complain. But how valid they are, how many people are going to listen, yeah, that share drops when you consider how much they're making. Look, hey, man, these guys chose the profession. Some of these assistants are putting in unbelievable hours. It messes with your family life and all that, but everybody's chasing that dream. Everybody's chasing, a big salary, a head coaching position, moving up, being a coordinator. And it's just part of the price of the game now. And, I mean, look, I could go on and on about what's wrong and, a little bit about what's right with the game. But coaches, hey, Aaron Boone complained when he got thrown out because some guy in the stands yelled at the ump last night. That happened.
What'd you think of that, Tom? I mean, I've never seen anything like that, and I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm a Yankees hater, basher.
Right.
I'll rip on him any chance I can get, but even I was like coming to the defense of Aaron Boone.
Well, you should, because it wasn't him. And the umpire, he didn't know who it was. I mean, it didn't look like a huge crowd, and so his ears were particularly attuned. And, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this other than say the ump shouldn't have done that. He didn't know who said that. He just thought Aaron Boone said it.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear in the video that they put up after the fact, but at the time maybe it was a little more difficult to tell. Tom Murphy's with us here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Speaking of baseball, Tom, Razorback baseball team back in action. 5-0 all-time against UAPB, 9-0 in midweek games this season. Kind of got some intrigue on tonight. Jason Jones, who's an Arkansas Razorback, his brother is on the other side pitching for the Golden Lions tonight. Is that maybe the biggest thing you're paying attention to, or what else are you paying attention to tonight?
Well, that's a big one. Hey, look, the Golden Lions have a hitter named Dela Cruz. I think it's Edwin Dela Cruz, who's hitting .444, number 2 in the country. So will he hit Ben Bybee? He's hitting everyone else. How long can Ben Bybee last after getting knocked around by Texas Tech last week? That's a question. Will Jason Jones be in the starting lineup? If I'm Dave Van Horn and his brother's pitching, yeah, Jason Jones is in the starting lineup. They are casting about for anyone right now who can consistently get on base. And that's why we've seen these streaks of Ross Lovich playing for a while, Will Edmondson playing for a while, Peyton Holt now, just like he did last year, got another opportunity, and now he's in the outfield and he's playing. So, yeah, I would think that Jason Jones would get a start or at least get an at-bat tonight. And I don't know, the run rule will be obviously something that will be under observation. Hopefully, and I wrote about Kendall Diggs a little bit today in a notebook, hopefully the 2 doubles in the final game against South Carolina can get him rolling after his shoulder injury, because when you have a stud like him who's going to be in the middle of your lineup, he's got to start producing, and hopefully he's over the shoulder so they can start, moving toward the best offense they can be.
So on the ceiling approach you just took, the best offense they could be, this team can get on base. They just can't seem to bring guys home. I mean, Tom, what is the resolution to being a more timely hitting or team? Is there one that comes to your mind on that subject?
Well, hitting is a very complicated thing. And you'll have coaches and guys who are in slumps tell you how difficult it is. Like, I think Deion Sanders said this last year, that hitting in a baseball is the hardest thing in sports. When you're in a zone, you're just doing it. And right now, this team is struggling with runners in scoring. It was painful, those first 2 games against South Carolina, and then the weekend before at Alabama. So right now, they're clearly not a dominant road team. And if they're going to win, if they're going to get to Omaha, they're going to have to be a better road and neutral team. And clutch hitting is just part of that. And sometimes it can be contagious. They've got to get a Lloyd back hitting. He almost got a over 300, and he was for an at-bat or two against San Jose State a couple of weeks ago. Got to get him going. If he and Diggs start to contribute more, then there's going to be more, guys on base, fewer outs when guys come to the plate. And perhaps because I think they're quite a ways off from what their peak offensive potential would be.
What's Cal's potential at Arkansas? I think about that. That's a question that has been asked of me and probably you and so many others that cover Arkansas basketball. And I think people just assume, well, he did it at Kentucky, he can do it here. Is it a fair comparison? Is it fair to assume that he can go to a Final Four and win a national championship here in Fayetteville?
No, it is very, very fair. He's a great coach. I mean, point one, he's a great coach. He's done it everywhere in college, and there should be no reason to think he couldn't. And I think this will refresh him. I mean, I think the last few years at Kentucky's probably grinded on him a little. And I think we're going to see a roster start to come together. And he's a good game day coach. And he made it a point to say how much of a grinder he is. So we're going to find out. It's going to be a different style. He has his assistants talk to the media a lot more during game week and stuff. So we're going to have to maybe adapt to his style of talking to the media, which is ostensibly talking to the fans. But the potential is he could get Arkansas to a Final Four.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. We appreciate it as always, and we will do it on Thursday. Preview a little Arkansas, Florida. See what Jack Caglianone's going to do when he comes into Fayetteville.
Man, that sounds like a plan. See y'all.
All right, so Tom just mentioned one of the better hitters in the country there. I think the kid's name's Charlie Condon, who we brought up earlier in the show, the Georgia hitter, best in the SEC. He's hitting like 448 or 450 or something like that. It's been unbelievable, but apparently this hitter that's coming in today, Dela Cruz, he's pretty stinking good too. Tell you what else is pretty good, stinking good. That's Art's Barbecue and Burgers. Go see Wade. Go see Morgan and Yort and get barbecue. Get salads. Get burgers. Get it all at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. Now, from time to time, I go to their lighter menu options like the grilled chicken, fish, low-carb entrees and sides, and they smoke all of their meats. So that means the hams, turkeys, and other meats are perfect on top of their fresh salad. Plus, there's $1 off
do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Husbands, sons, daughters, honor your wife or mother for Mother's Day at the inaugural Mystery at the Fort Legacy Ball, benefiting Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center on May 11th at the U.S. Marshals Museum. Buy your tickets today for this 1940s mystery dinner, coupled with an exciting night of investigative entertainment and lively dancing with the band Who Shot JR. For more information, call 479-452-2260.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Tommy Tytech, thank you guys for your support, and go Hogs.
First pitch is hit high in the air by Holt to deep left. Back goes Petrus. That ball's out of here. Peyton Holt has tied the game with a 2-out home run in the 9th inning.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
All right, welcome back into the Morning Rush. Let's talk about Aaron Boone coming up in just a bit. Ejected early. Second batter in from the Yankees game yesterday. Before we do that, let's talk to our friend Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources here at the end of the month. Larry, I know people are talking about Cal, but you're talking cars here on this Tuesday morning.
Absolutely. Talking a little bit of Cal, too, but mostly cars, and the Mitsubishi cars in particular. We're really proud of this young franchise that we've got here in Springdale. Folks, if you're not familiar with the Mitsubishi lineup, come on by, look them over. You're going to be really impressed with the Outlander PHEV, the Eclipse Cross, the Mirage, the least expensive new car in America. We've got a kind of a price advantage on just about everybody, and some just terrific-looking cars loaded with technology and with the best warranty that you can buy, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on those cars, 2 years of free complimentary maintenance on that Outlander. So some really cool things going on there, along with some incentives to help us help you trade. Got some trade-in incentives if you've been going around maybe a little bit of negative equity in your car and people are telling you can't trade. Well, you can trade here at Rath Mitsubishi. Come in here and see us today, and we'll get you driving something nicer and newer at Rath Mitsubishi. If you're looking for a pre-owned car, we've got them here, road ready, certified with the warranty, and we've got a good selection of those as well in Fort Smith. The Meineke Car Care Centers at both locations. If you're going to take care of the car you have, let us do that for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. We just want to earn your business somewhere, folks. Come and see us either side of the tunnel. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
That's Rath Auto Resources in Springdale and Fort Smith. Larry, have a great rest of your day, brother.
You guys have a good one. And folks, come and see us.
So while Larry is having a great day, Aaron Boone did not have a great day yesterday. An ejection worthy to be talked about.
Oh, you know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We got a very clear, there you go. And now Aaron's saying, I didn't say anything. Aaron's saying, hold on a second, I didn't say a word.
Did not say a word, which, again, I don't always believe in New York Yankee, but if you actually go back and watch the video, like the second time around.
So the fan in the blue shirt is the one who says something to Hunter Wendelstedt. That's what he reacts to, and he kicks out Aaron Boone, who says, whoa, I didn't say anything.
And he actually didn't. He didn't, legitimately. I know sometimes players and coaches will say, I didn't say anything, I didn't do anything. Reality, they're crossing their fingers or they're just straight up lying, but his reaction was quite funny post-game.
Hard to. I really didn't even go after Hunter. I was more upset that, on the appeal, and I said, Hunter, you can call it too. And he came back at me pretty hard, to which I didn't respond. I just said, okay, went down, and it's embarrassing. It really is it's embarrassing. Just, not good.
Christian, I'm sure there has been something that your dog has done that your wife has gotten mad at you for, that you didn't do anything other than just exist. And yet you got blamed for something that someone close to you did.
Oh, you're spot on there, man. Exactly. It's one of those deals where it's like you can't get mad at them, so you got to find someone to get mad at.
Someone to yell at.
Yeah.
Someone to get mad at. And in this case, it sounds like Wendelstedt was tossing Aaron Boone, even though a fan was the reason for that. Video's great. If you haven't watched it, just search Aaron Boone ejected, and it's pretty entertaining. 34 times has been the number that he's been ejected since 2018, the most in MLB.
They got shut out by the Athletics.
2-0.
Yeah, that's not a good look there.
The Athletics. Ugh, not great. All right, basketball news. Karter Knox commits. Cal is building up his arm. Listen, Cal's Benjamin Martin in the Patriot. Used to fight with the Redcoats. Those horrible Kentucky fans. That horrible Rupp Arena. But he's always been a Razorback at heart. He's always bought into the Patriot way, the right side of history, which is your basketball program. And Big C was the first militia guy he's bringing in under his command. Now Karter Knox, another player. I don't know if Carter's a private. I don't know if he's a general. I just know he's a 4 or 5 star stud. And I'm excited that Karter announced his commitment to the Arkansas Razorbacks yesterday. See who else comes up. DJ Wagner, Jonas Adu. Plenty of other guys that have interest in the Arkansas basketball program. We'll see if the Arkansas basketball program has interest in them. Keep it right here on the Morning Rush. Halftime, Ruskin and Zach for all of your Cal updates. And our championship under construction is brought to you by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to lindberghteam.com, and by Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. We always need to love better as men. Visit maverickmalemedical.com for more information. All right, we're going to wrap up our show with the SEC update coming up in just a bit. Share kind of what Arkansas's roster looks like basketball-wise compared to other SEC schools, where Arkansas baseball is in the polls, and some other stuff as we return on a Bandwagon Tuesday.
That had to be one of the funnest segments I've ever heard in my life. Spit my coffee out. It was a great bit. It was comedy gold.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Roll into the season.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores.
Loaded SEC field. A&M's 1, Tennessee's 3, Kentucky's 4, Vanderbilt's 11, UGA is 20, Bama's 23, and South Carolina is at 24. So you got 4 of the top 4 and 8 of the top 25. So basically a third of the top 25 is an SEC team. It's absurd. 30% is an SEC team. That's SEC baseball in a nutshell. And it's going to be that way. It has been that way for quite some time. Last 3 national championships have come for the SEC West. Hopefully we'll see that for a 4th straight time. And hopefully it will be the team in Cardinal red and white. So that's baseball news. Basketball news. There's good information from Ben Brandon, who compiled basically all the SEC basketball rosters and the open scholarships they have remaining, scholarship players. Arkansas has 11 spots now. Karter Knox, if you haven't heard, commits as of yesterday. Was in Fayetteville yesterday. The younger brother of Kevin Knox. He's a 6'6" wing/guard, 4 or 5-star, and I know that Arkansas fans are excited to have him in Fayetteville and have him committed. That's John Calipari. That's Kenny Payne, as the rest of the coaching staff was. Hopefully, we saw Big Z. You're hoping for an avalanche and a snowball effect after Big Z. Maybe Karter will get the rest of the ball rolling when it comes to more commits picking the University of Arkansas. But Arkansas is up there with the amount of roster spots that they have available. Kentucky also, I think, has 10 right now. There's a lot of roster spots in both Lexington and Arkansas that will be filled up with high-caliber players, Big C.
It's kind of exciting having a lot of open spots in a way, because it feels like you can kind of just put together your team. You don't have to hang on to guys that maybe stayed from the previous year that you're not 100% on. You could get to start fresh. Karter Knox may be the first domino to fall. Got a lot of work to do, but it's what Calipari does best.
I want to know if Caleb Battle, if there's mutual interest between Cal and Caleb on him remaining in Fayetteville, Arkansas, coming out of the transfer portal and becoming an Arkansas Razorback again. Don't know if we'll get that details, but hopefully we'll see something in the next week or so on his status as a now transfer portal-y. We'll see if he comes back to Fayetteville for his final season of eligibility. Baseball team, no SEC game tonight. You are in action, though, against UAPB in North Little Rock. It is at 6 o'clock right here on these airwaves. Let's hit thatline.com. Plus, the SEC Network Plus. Actually, in North Little Rock, you're getting that. I know that doesn't happen all the time with the games in Simmons Bank Arena and then also in Dickey-Stevens Park, but apparently it is happening for tonight's game for the number 2 team in the country against UAPB.
Yeah, it's good that we get to watch that game. Like you said, it just seems like so many times it hasn't been televised, and we kind of had to check on our phone, and that's not as fun and not as convenient. I'd like to see, a good turnout. I'd like to see some UAPB fans there as well. I think it's good for the state.
You have a 5-0 record against UAPB all time. We'll see if it's 6-0 after the game later on tonight. Last thing here in your SEC update, Snacks Johnson reportedly going to transfer from Arkansas. That according to Brandon Marcello of 24/7 Sports. Stacks was a starter last year as we heard from Tom this hour, did not start in the spring game. Maybe that had an impact on why he's hitting the portal, according to Brandon Marcel. It is a bummer. Now, my understanding in your SEC update is that he can't transfer to an SEC school in this cycle. I think that's correct. I'm not 100%, but I think that's correct. Maybe Richard can verify that tomorrow morning when he joins us at 6:30. But that is your SEC update. As always, our SEC update here in the Morning Rush is brought to you by our friends at Burden Pools and Spas. They're celebrating nearly 50 years, their 46th anniversary. You're going to get great deals on in-ground pools with savings up to $12,000. And your construction can start in May. Snag up to $1,200 on Doughboy above ground pools and $5,000 off on Doughboy semi in-ground pools. Hot tubs start at just $39.99. Celebrate with us and pocket huge savings thanks to Burn Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, where we do more than just build pools. We build long-term relationships. That's burnpools.com for more information. So the big news of the day is the Karter Knox news, his commitment to Fayetteville. We've had some fun with Aaron Boone getting ejected. Do also want to mention, done it once or twice this hour, but James McCann with a big homer last night, and then his new teammate, Heston Kjerstad, promoted from the Baltimore Orioles minor league team, AAA, back to the Major League organization. Christian, I know you're a Cubs fan, but the Orioles are kind of the popular vote to win the World Series this year.
Yeah, I have no ill will towards the Orioles. I like them even more now that Kjerstad is on the team, and I hope he stays for a while. I hope they don't send him back down after a month or so. I hope he's able to earn some playing time and, give me more of a reason to watch the Orioles, who they're a respectable franchise now. I mean, they're good. They're up there with the best among the best in the league. So you'd like to see Heston be able to contribute to a winning team.
Yeah, and that anytime you can see not just one but two Razorbacks on a professional league team, it's pretty cool. Which you get a chance to watch tonight and tomorrow night with Patrick Beverly and Bobby Portis for the Milwaukee Bucks as they try to take a 2-0 lead over the Indiana Pacers. That game is on NBA TV later on tonight. Bucks are favored by 1.5. The Suns take on the Timberwolves at 6:30 on TNT. And then your Dallas Mavericks trying to bounce back against the Los Angeles Clippers. Big C, Daniel Gafford has to have a much bigger impact than he did in Game 1. He only had 3 points in, I think, 15 minutes.
Yeah, the Mavericks are going to have to play a lot better tonight. Can't let James Harden play as well as he did, or Paul George. And I'm not sure I don't think Kawhi is going to go tonight, so there's no surprises here, Dallas. You know he's not going to play. You can't use the excuse that you were, prepared for Kawhi. Just show up, play your game. I think they'll play a lot better tonight. Not saying it's going to be easy by any means, but I expect a big-time response by the Mavericks to even up the series, because we all expected this to be a good series, and it still has the potential to be. I just think Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving's going to have to kind of take over early. Missed a lot of shots in that game, and Daniel Gafford only had 3 points, got into a little bit of foul trouble. It was just an all-around ugly game, but I don't expect that to be a trend in this series.
It's over for the Los Angeles Lakers, not your Dallas Mavericks. I'm not gonna go that far, because I do think that they will bounce back. I know Kyrie was pretty animated on the sidelines, but for another Western team, and if you're a Mavericks fan, a team you don't like in the Los Angeles Lakers, kind of like the Yankees. If you don't like the Lakers, or if you're not a Lakers fan, you probably don't like them. It's not like one of those teams that you don't have the ill war towards. You mostly have it for the Los Angeles Lakers. It is over for that organization, LeBron James. Yeah. It is coming to an end. They are going to lose to the Denver Nuggets. I don't know if they get swept, but that series is done. Nuggets up 2-0 after last night. Jamal Murray, one of Cal's guys, sinking a game winner as time expired, and now that team moves on. Now,
the way they lost too is what's so demoralizing.
Yeah, and that
20-point lead, I believe, at one point. Just it's hard to come back from that.
Could definitely see a Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder Western Conference Finals in OKC. I know of any NBA team, I would probably say we have the most Oklahoma City fans listening to this program right now. And again, if you want to jump on the bandwagon of a team, do so with OKC. Cody and Lavaca brings up on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. It's the youngest team in the league. You got 2 former Razorbacks, 2 former Northside Grizzlies. You got 2 Cal guys in Case and Wallace and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that's all the Kentucky players that are on that team. It's always, Jalen has beefed up, man. He's gotten big, and he's knocked down some key shots. He knocked down some key shots in that game 1. Hopefully he does it tomorrow night in that game number 2. I guess and I'll have this beef tomorrow. What's your beef Wednesday? Game's at 8:30, Big C. I'll be in bed by the first quarter. I'll be passed out. This was what's so irritating to me is, I'm in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock each night. That's bedtime for me.
My Mavs tip off at 9 p.m. Ugh. I'm not staying up for that.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
And you can maybe get in a quarter, maybe, but that is I'm not a huge fan of these late tip-off times. We saw it in college basketball in the national championship, how dreadful those ratings were. I've never understood, but I know trying to get in the East Coast, the West Coast, the central part of the United States and everything, but it has always frustrated me when I see these times as late as they start. When it's anything past 8 o'clock, I'm just like, I just want to bang my head against the wall when they do these late time starts. No late time start tonight, just a normal 6 o'clock first pitch for Arkansas against Little Rock, and again right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. We appreciate Tom Murphy getting Bruce Stan's Pradco Pyramid of Power ranking sent to us. I know he's off fishing at Broken Bow, and then also Kevin McPherson joining us in our number 1. If you missed any of those conversations, you can find it in our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. The latest edition of the Give Me the Hogs Chuck podcast is out too. Find that on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can always listen to our live programming on the Hit That Line Now app, both on iTunes and Google Play. Easy to download, easy to listen to, and it's got all our content on there. Well, we appreciate everyone joining us here today on a Bandwagon Tuesday. And if you need to jump on the bandwagon of a good lawyer team, then call Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull at the Hickey and Hull Law Partners. They've grown their offices in the central Arkansas area, in Mena, in central Arkansas. You've known about their success in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And now they are expanding again in in central Arkansas and Mena. So if you're handling a divorce or custody case and you got no idea what's going on, if you need help, then let them guide you through the process at Hickey and Hull Law Partners. They've got a lot of experience over the years in a lot of these cases. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or call them at 479-434-2414 to schedule your consultation. Hickey and Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better. kevinhickeylaw.com, or again, the number one more time, 479-434-2414. Christian, it's National, I think, Movie Theater Day. What's the last movie you've seen in a theater? Mine is Anyone But You. What is the last movie that you've seen in a theater?
That tells you how long it's been.
It's just, I don't do this. It used to be a tradition of ours, but it's not anymore.
Man, I'd really have to think hard on it.
And it doesn't even come to the top of your head. It's just different world we live in nowadays where it doesn't come to your mind. So, Movie Theater Day. Go celebrate it if you choose to do so. Appreciate everyone joining us. Back tomorrow for a What's Your Beef Wednesday of the Morning Rush.